A man filled with the love of God is not content with blessing his family alone, but ranges through the whole world, anxious to bless the whole human race. And the question here appears, how is it possible that a man or a woman blesses other people's lives if the person himself is not happy with his own life? Then a very nice topic brings us to the idea of self-reliance. According to Handbook number 2, Administering the Church, self-reliance is defined as the ability, commitment, and effort to provide the spiritual and temporal necessities of life for self and family. If we are members of the church, we got to find excellence, and self-reliance is part of the achievements of getting happy lives. Uh, we are to better we are to be better able to serve and care for others. We are responsible for our own spiritual and temporal well-being. Self-reliance implies and takes in six things, six aspects, and six areas of our lives. Let me quote each one of them and let me explain very briefly. Firstly, health. The Lord has commanded members to take care of our minds and bodies. We should obey the word of wisdom, eat nutritious food, exercise regularly, control our weight, and get adequate sleep. When I was on a mission serving my mission to Argentina, Buenos Aires in 2008, Elder Sivich, a current member of the quorum of the 70 and the first quorum, he addressed a speech, indicated that he had done or he had read a survey done in the United States in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the survey consisted in asking the missionaries the three things they most coincided in having success as a missionary. Surprisingly, the first one was obedience, the second one was spiritual strength, and number three was health. Surprisingly health, because normally if a missionary is not healthy enough, how is it going to be, or how is he going to be possible to serve other people's lives? Secondly is education. Education provides understanding and skills that can help people develop self-reliance. As church members, we should try to read the scriptures and study them, and also other good books. We should improve our ability to read, write, do basic mathematics. As a matter of fact, I am teaching this to my children. Since I am married and I have three children, I teach education to my children by reading them books before going to sleep. My children's favorite book is one related to life, animals, and also budget. Employment, third, is the third aspect. Working is the foundation upon which self-reliance and temporal well-being rest. We should become skilled at our work, be diligent and trustworthy, and give honest work for the pay and benefits we receive. I remember President Monson's speech talking about decisions on employment. He encouraged us not only to find a job where we can find money, we can make money, but also where we can enjoy doing it. And actually, I made a decision to become an English teacher when I was serving my mission to Argentina. Elder Bernard came and he addressed a very nice topic about teaching through the Spirit. That impacted so much and so great in my life that it changed my mind, and I decided to change my careers from medicine into education and teaching. Number four is home storage. We should build a 3-month supply of food that is part of our normal diet. Considering this, I do not think that having a home storage takes too much time in doing it. Actually, we could start week by week. For example, we could buy some things for the week and also replace it and circle the stuff around until we can get a 3-month supply. Number five, it's finances. To become financially self-reliant, we should pay tithes and offerings, avoid unnecessary debt, use a budget, and live within a plan. For that reason, All Is Safely Gathered In is an article published by the church in which they addressed 5 topics. Number 1 is pay tithes and offerings. Successful finances begin with payment of an honest tithe and the giving of a generous fast offering. How can we be honest with our fellow beings if we are not able and if we are not possible? to pay God first. Avoiding debt. Debt is only acceptable when buying a modest home, paying for education or other vital needs. And in case we get debt, we have to pay it off as quickly as possible. Using a budget, we need to keep track of our expenses. For that reason, we should record our expenditures in order for money not to control us, but we should control money. Building a reserve, saving up money, especially when emergencies uh, when emergencies come up, and for that reason, we should use it for emergencies only. If we save a little money regularly, we will be surprised how much accumulates over time. And finally, teach family members. I teach my children how important is it to save in order for us to be more self-reliant and better stewards of God's resources on earth. Finally, spiritual strength. Spiritual strength is, personally talking, is the most important of the aspects of becoming self-reliant. If we obey God, if we take heed unto His and to the words of the prophets, we will be sure and that we are going through the right path, the right step, and we will live happier lives.